Hey folks, this is Sir Charles Cary, national trainer, speaker, and author, your change management strategist. And I want to suggest before I even get started, get a pen, get a pad, get something to take notes with, your tablet, your Evernote, whatever it may be. This isn't about specific tips. I'm not going to give you 3 or 5 tips. I'm just going to throw a bunch of information out there at you, and I want you to extract whatever you may need. I can tell you right now, there will be several takeaways. Usually when I do a conference or a seminar or boot camp, I usually tell people I want them to walk away with 3 to 5 tips, because I want them to have more than what they came with. And the same applies here, but it's not about a specific number of things. I just want to share different things, and whatever resonates with you, I want you to hold on to that thing for yourself. Now, one of the things I want to talk to you about regarding change is that change is very uncomfortable. Many of us don't like change because it takes us to a different space. It makes us do different things that we're simply not comfortable doing. We haven't been doing them, or we've never done them. Now here you come along suggesting, that I do something that changes my day, changes my time frame, changes my availability, changes my flexibility, changes my free time. Well, that's what change is about. It's about shifting, it's about modification, it's about transition, if you will. Now, as I told you earlier in the clip, or in one of the other clips, I only talk about a couple of things. And the pillars of success that I focus on are change, our leadership, and our self-esteem. And sometimes you'll find that when it comes to change and self-esteem, they may sort of intertwine or be interwoven at certain phases in your life. Because for many people that have low self-esteem, they're challenged to change. So remember this: if you're uncomfortable, you're supposed to be uncomfortable. Why? It's because each time you learn something, you pick up more information, more knowledge, you become more aware of a particular thing. But that's just an initial breakthrough, because there are more breakthroughs waiting for you. And I understand, believe me, it wasn't always easy for me to stand in front of a video camera, to do the things I do as far as speaking in front of hundreds or thousands of people that I have in the years that I've been a speaker, trainer, and an author. But I learned through repetition. I learned through trial and error. I learned through pushing myself. I learned through the effort that's required to do that thing, to be in this profession. And that's the same thing for you. It doesn't matter what your profession is, but you must push yourself. You must work towards the fact that if you begin whatever your task is, whatever your endeavor is, if you begin, you're a lot further along than where you first started. And once you begin, there will be other portals for you to get to, so that you can really begin to either master or just become reasonably proficient in that area. Now, I hope I didn't lose anyone, but feel free to play the video as many times as you would like, or I hope you're taking notes so that you'll have the information that obviously resonates with you. Now, this is the thing. When it comes to change, everyone's change is different. You cannot expect everyone to understand how one thing may be easy to you, yet it's difficult for someone else. Someone may say, well, I'll never be good at this. But you may be good at that same thing. And you may be willing to share and willing to encourage this other person, but they may not get it. It's okay. You can't make people or change people into who you want them to be, or into who they say they want to be, until they are actually ready. So know this: don't carry weight that does not belong to you. All right, now here's the benefit of change. If you're consistent with your effort, consistent with your learning, consistent with the evolution process, you will get the results. Now, I don't know what you're looking for specifically, but I do know this for a fact. I did not become a national trainer, speaker, and author just by wanting to. I had to do the work. So that meant that I had to learn. I had to learn how to put a lesson plan together. I had to learn what a lesson plan was. I had to learn how to make points. I had to learn how to keep it interesting. I had to learn how to put myself out there. I had to learn how to go to different locations and teach. I had to learn from the feedback that I received. And lo and behold, 17 years later, this is where I am. I'm talking about everything. From the books, the workshops, the reality shows, the poetry, everything I did was a contributing factor to get me to where I am. That was the change for me. You know, I've talked about the butterfly. Dr. Willie Jolly talks about the butterfly also from a different perspective. But look at yourself, consider yourself that butterfly. Here you are, inching along, right? You're going step by step, inch by inch, right? And you're very vulnerable. Anything can happen to you. Look how slow you're moving. Other insects, animals. Imagine if a bird needed to feed its young or feed itself. You're moving at this really slow pace. And then you find a tree, and then you inch up the tree, right? And then you find a little cove, a little nook, if you will. And you nestle in and build that cocoon. And what happens? You build the cocoon, and after you build the cocoon, you sort of hibernate for a period of time. I forget how long a butterfly hibernates or is in the cocoon, but that's your season of metamorphosis. That's your season of change, which for us human beings, you've gone to college. You paid for coaching. You bought books. You bought programs. You've gone to seminars. You've been on webinars, and bam, lo and behold, you eventually come out of the cocoon. And what happens? You press and press and press and press, and then there's fluid going into your wings, right? And then your wings expand, and then you have the opportunity, the ability even, to take flight. And regardless whether you're a tiny butterfly moving really fast or a big butterfly moving slow and graceful, yeah, there are always going to be obstacles, but you endured what it took to create the change in you. So remember, we're all like butterflies, even the most beautiful butterfly. You know, you have to do the things that are necessary to get the needed results. Or the fact may remain, you don't want it bad enough. And I've said many times, when the why is really big enough, the how does not matter. Meaning that you will do anything you can, talking about things that are reasonable, anything that you can to make the why relevant, to make it real. Most important thing is radiate the brain and change the game.